Are you feeling a bit nervous about your upcoming first date? Don't worry, because we've got you covered. In this video, we bring you 8 essential tips to help you with your first date. Remember, first dates can be a bit awkward, but with these simple rules, you'll be well on your way to making a great impression and having a memorable time. So let's get in. First up is punctuality. Timing is considered to be one of the key factors in first dates, as it has an impact on the overall mood during the date. This is basically true because although it might look fashionable to arrive at the event fashionably late, it can convey a negative impression. Punctuality helps in creating the right impression towards the other partner. This is important since in a one-on-one date, no one wants to be seen as disinterested or disrespecting the other party's time. It may not make your date all glum and repulsive, but it might as well make him or her annoyed due to the wait. To create a good impression, be sure to arrive at least 5 minutes before the actual time of the dinner. This simple act will demonstrate to him or her that your time is valuable and looking forward to meeting him or her. Furthermore, punctuality is a good way to calm nerves before the date starts, since none of you wants to be considered as a no-show. For instance, if one has arrived early, he or she has the extra time to sort out whatever anxiety or butterflies that are ever present. He/she can comfortably wait for the date, checking around, adjust to the environment, and even take a deep breath. It also allows you an extra time to plan on how to welcome your date with the much-needed politeness and overbearing confidence. Finally, punctuality will give a good image to you, besides creating a conducive environment for the two of you, hence becoming enjoyable. Bear in mind that the first date entails making links, and having a good time in each other's company and setting the right tone is crucial in that. Next up is paying the bill. If you ask someone out on a date, people tend to assume that the person who asked will be the one who has to pay the bill. This is regarded as a sign of confidence and courtesy towards the other person, as a way of showing that you are willing to stand for it. This can set the right mood and help your date see that you are a man who knows what he wants and is keen on making the evening fun. It's a small act that can make the atmosphere friendly for the rest of the time that you will spend with the person. In your relationship, there is a need to balance your interactions with your partner. After a couple has dated for some time or developed friendly feelings towards each other, he or she should take turns to treat the other person or possibly share the expense of the date. This strategy helps in ensuring that there is a mutual understanding between the two partners in the relationship. It provides occasions when both partners can be thankful and appreciated, instead of having one person who is continually paying. When dividing these duties, not only does it strengthen your partnership, but it also allows for both people to feel at ease and to voice their desires. Lastly, disclosing information about money matters is important for the development of the relationship and might help to better understand each other. Number 3 is basic manners. Table manners are also important when you are on a date, because they determine the impression that the companion has about you. They do not expect you to be an etiquette expert, but knowing basic rules of dining can foster positive perception. This means that even though the person before you is eating, you should not speak with your mouth full of food, but instead should chew with your mouth closed. It's also best to shun habits like picking your teeth while dining or scraping the cutlery on your plate, which are likely to be disturbing to others. Instead, let's concentrate on the portion in front of us and what is being discussed around the table. One more significant aspect to follow while eating is the utilization of the napkin and keeping away from the phone aggressively. The act of putting the napkin on your lap is a basic and efficient method of stating that you respect cleanliness and the meal. As important as avoiding some foods during the date is, so is leaving the phone on the table. It means that you want to be alone with your company and enjoy the conversation. So, with these simple manners observed in dining, the dining experience is improved, and your date will perceive you as courteous, thoughtful, and responsible, creating an everlasting impression. Next point is an important one. Avoid phone distractions. If you have a date and the conversation is dead or a little uncomfortable, you may be tempted to take out your phone. However, there is the possibility of texting, and using the phone constantly only gives the signal that one is not interested in the person opposite them. Such actions can help your date leave feeling unimportant and disrespected, which is not the best first impression to set. Instead of getting disjointed and grabbing for your technology, try and take the time to be present with the person you're with. That is why it is always good to have several intriguing questions on your lips before you join the conversation. Some examples of such topics are the places people like to travel to, the hobbies one has, or even jokes from your childhood. These questions do not just serve to replenish the pauses in the conversation, but also prove that you are interested in your date. It contributes to making conversation more fun for both of you if you make an effort to engage in what they are thinking and going through. Just remember, it's a date, and the aim is to have a good time with each other, and having your phone aside will be helpful here. Number 5, seating arrangement. It can be fun when you go out on a date, but on the other side, it can be slightly embarrassing. One of the ways that may help in calming those nerves is by deciding to sit next to your partner and not opposite each other. It is less businesslike when you sit side by side with your date. The two of you can no longer gaze into each other's eyes. Instead, you look forward, which helps you relax. Such a small shift could have a massive impact on how one feels. It enables one to have a chance to converse knowing that there is no one scrutinizing his or her every move. Also, sitting side by side can assist in encouraging some feeling of closeness and sexual attraction. You could just be passing, telling each other something as simple as what makes you laugh, something you find funny or interesting happening around you, and you do not have to look at each other throughout the conversation. This setup allows both of you to have less tension for a more fluid conversation and makes the both of you comfortable. With a very comfortable setting, you will be able to interact more and have a good time together, and so make it a great time for both of you. At number 6, lead the conversation. You may feel a little silly, a bit nervous, and that's okay, as it is normal to feel that way during the first meeting. Why should people attempt to fight the nervous energy from environment instead of using it to their advantage? If you want to settle matters quickly, either say a joke or come up with witty comment regarding the situation, and that should make both of you feel quite comfortable. Of course, every person can be a little bit nervous, so recognizing this fact will actually help to fight this problem as well. If you have a funny bone tickled, the date is sure to follow suit, and this makes the mood set and prospects open. There are, however, certain things that one has to avoid, especially when speaking to a female, and these include: avoid breaking eye contact. Apart from making you appear interested in your date, it is a simple way of ensuring that there is a bond between you two. When conversing, do your best to ask those questions, which will make the person you are with continue sharing more information about himself or herself. It not only helps to maintain the conversation, but also enables you to find out such things like interests or similar life situations, thus making yourself a little more confident and showing that you are a likable person. And who knows, both of you will go out with a smile and interesting memories in your mind. Another thing not to forget is to respect the staff. Be polite and courteous to the service staff. It is important to understand that the service staff, including waiters, waitresses, and the bartender, are employed to wait on all people in the premise, not just the diner. They are people who are working as professionals, and they are trying to do their work in the most efficient way possible. And they don't deserve to be treated badly. Don't use vulgar language or talk badly about them. This will be a total put-off for your date. Bear in mind that how you address other people, especially those who serve you, can characterize your personal qualities and beliefs. In this case, by being polite and considerate, you will make a good impression of yourself to your date and at the same time, ensure that all the other diners have a good experience. And lastly, it's not to overdrink. Alcohol is never good for a person, and it is essential that one knows his or her limits. On the first date, it would be extremely improper to get tipsy or drunk, and that is why dates should avoid taking alcohol. Alcohol can make you let your guard down for a while and enjoy what is happening at the moment, but it can also put you in some situations you don't want to get into. Well, it should be remembered that the main purpose of a first date is to have a favorable impression of the other person and probably have a good conversation. Even if you get drunk, you may not be able to pay attention to the conversation or even speak what you didn't plan. This can make you sit closer than what may be comfortable to your date, or even leave your date feeling uneasy. That's why it is always advisable to take your time to take your drinks, so that you can control the rate of events during your date. One drink at first, and do not hurry up. Spend some time to taste it. This not only enables one to fix attention and be in charge, but also to participate in insightful discussions without interferences. It is acceptable to take alcohol and wine, beers once in a while, but always remember that all things in moderation. In this way, you understand your deficits and cannot go wrong while organizing the next date, as the night will be fun and enjoyable both to you and the date, thus creating a positive impression. There you have it, 8 simple rules to follow on your first date. Remember, the key is to be confident, respectful, and engaged. Follow these tips, and you'll be well on your way to a successful and enjoyable first date. Good luck and have fun!